Hi, and welcome back. My name is Antonio Seri from CRRNTN.com. Continuing the series Hollywood movie title, today we realize the animation of Conan the Barbarian. The first part will be in cinema. We will make the logo, and the letters animation with a camera target. We will continue in After Effects, the overall composition with all the elements that characterize this epic animation. Open the file Start. I have already organized the files in order to be ready to begin the tutorial. For each letter, we have a layer group. In each group, we find the path inside and outside. I got all the letters of the logo, using as an image of reference the last frame of the original video. For the vector drawing, I used the 2D drawing tools. The letters O, N and A were cut so as to have no holes in the paths. This technique only works with open spline. Who does not know how to use these tools, can proceed directly using the file Start, inside the project folder. You can also use a font. The Frizz Quadrata, bold style. As we can see in this image, all letters should be customized. To obtain the Conan logo, the C letter must connect with the O. The upper part of A must be sharper, the letters N1 and N2, as in the image. Finally, the outer part of the letter O must be closer, in order to harmonize with all the other letters. For the slogan I used the regular style. OK, go back in our file Start. Our first step will be put the Loft NURBS tool on the C letter with 2 splines, and the Extrude tool on the slogan. This is the result. For the slogan I added a depth of 5 and a fillet cap with steps 1 and 0.5 radius. Check constraint active. For the letters I show you in detail how to get this incredible bevel. To make the surface very smooth has been applied, within the Loft tool, a subdivision mesh of 300. This technique is applied on all letters. I show you how to get the final result. This is the letter C, composed from the inside and outside paths. Insert the Loft NURBS tool. Drag in first the part inside, and after the outside. We apply the subdivision mesh that we want. In this case the optimal value is 300. We select the inside part, and with the Move tool, move them along the Z-axis. 5 or 10 units, however you like. The result is fantastic. To complete, apply the Symmetry tool. With Mirror Plane, XY. To remove the space in the center, activate the Move's Pivot mode. Move the pivot in the right view. Perfect. As I've said in other tutorials, to achieve the perfect result, you have to add points in the spline inside and outside, but above all, is very important to set for each letter the first set point. With the same method, we got all the letters. The letters must be open paths, and have no holes, loft mesh. The same for N1, A and N2 letters. View the result. Epic. If we want a more pronounced bevel, just move the inside part, with the value you want. The result is this. Great. In the next step we insert the light system. Two colored lights. A straw yellow in the upper right. And an orange at the bottom behind the logo. This is the result of two lights. Follow me on video, I show the parameters of position, color and intensity. Okay, proceed with the materials. I used the same of the Sherlock Holmes 2 tutorial, and also the lights. The only new material is the lava Conan. Was obtained with the textures type, colorizer. Within it I applied on the gradient and noise, with input luminance. You can get many different results. I have chosen to apply the type Luca. With these parameters, the same procedure on the luminance panel, but on the gradient I changed the colors and disposition. A simple bump to 33. I temporarily added the alpha to make you see the result of the material in overlays with the chrome logo. Finally specular on plastic, with a width 78, and height 5. So during the animation, first, we have logo start with the lava material. After the logo end with the chrome material. Followed by the slogan "The Barbarian." For the logo end, has been applied as on Sherlock Holmes 2. A chrome material, rough, and dirty. In this sequence, chrome, scratches, and stains. For the logo start, only the lava Conan material. View the result, incredible. Together with the logo chrome is very beautiful. But, we do this type of overlay, directly in After Effects. I forgot, the slogan has only the chrome material and scratches. As in the previous tutorial, to get a better result of colors and materials, we modify the parameters of document panel. Color to 80 gray, disable the linear workflow, and color profile. View the result. OK, proceed with the animation. Our sequence runs for 155 frames. I entered a camera target with the target position at the center of the scene. Because, during movement of the letters, we have a vertical movement with the focal point anchored at the center of the scene, which creates a slight oscillation. Let me see better what it is. The camera has Z position to -1920. But between frames 30 and 61, we have a Y interpolation to -70. The camera target, being anchored to the center scene, does not move linearly, but oscillates automatically, generating the value of rotation P. This is useful in many situations. the letter's animation has a disposition to arrowhead. The letters, from outside to inside, are mirrored, in Z movement and in rotation P. The keyframes of the start are among the frames 15 to 61. While the end part, it finished with a movement of Z position, from -120 to 0, in the frame 159. View the movement from an aerial view. Follow on video the animation parameters. We proceed with the rendering to continue in After Effects. All frames. QuickTime with alpha channels. Anti-aliasing on best. Very importantly, activate the Effect Vector Motion Blur. And the Tag Motion Blur on each letter's layer of animated logo, through the Tags menu, right button click of the mouse. Must be activated, from 100 to 0, in the same keyframes, set for animation of position and rotation. Very simple. The rendering should be separated, to have absolute control in After Effects. Before rendering, we disable the alpha on the lava Conan material. OK, proceed in After Effects. These are the rendering realized. The slogan The Barbarian. The logo Fire. The logo Chrome. Also we have the video fire transition, which serves to simulate the fire explosion. The sword. And finally the background, recreated with Photoshop. As we can see, I completed in After Effects by adding also the fire particles, and the lens flare. We analyze in detail how the various elements were organized. The background has no effect. On the logo Chrome, I applied an exposure with value 1.2 and 0.75 to have a stronger impact of color on the logo. On interpolation on opacity between 56 and 91 frames. Because it intersects with the opacity of layer logo Fire. While the logo Fire layer in lighten mode fades, the Chrome logo is revealed. To make the effect more interesting, in logo Fire layer, I added the glow effect, with inserting keyframes on threshold, radius, and intensity. I applied also the hue saturation to increase the color intensity. On glow effect, beyond the parameters mentioned, I activated the color loop on sawtooth, B more than A, with color A and B. With these parameters, finally, the CC Radial Fast Blur, optional, to have a more motion blur. All these parameters can be modified to obtain the crossfade of logo Fire with the Chrome logo, as you like. Finally, to make the body of Fire logo more glossy, duplicate and put in Add mode the Chrome logo. With an interpolation on opacity from 48 frame to 0 at frame 56 to 30. The sequence is closed in frame 91. We proceed with the insertion of the sword. As in the original animation, the sword arrives from left to right, and hooked to the letter C. Instead, the small skull snaps over the letter C. To achieve this, I inserted between the small skull and sword layers, a duplicate of chrome logo. The small skull layer is hooked with the parent, on sword layer. So all the animation parameters of position can only be applied only on the sword layer, and will be active on both. To improve the color, apply a brightness and contrast to -40 and to -15. The animation position frames are between 85 and 94. While giving the sensation of movement speed, the directional blur works among the values 60 and 33, and it close in the frame 95. Applying a mask through the track map in alpha inverted mode. In the layer mask, I added a drop shadows effect, with an angle of 135 degrees. Distance 8, and softness 5. Very cool. The slogan layer has an interpolation of opacity, while the arrival sword sequence. I applied the same exposure effect of chrome logo. We proceed with the fire particles system. I have modified the preset of the Three Musketeers tutorial, so that the movement is from bottom to top, along the whole length. I have overlapped 2 duplicate layers, with different particle sizes, to create a sense of three-dimensional space. Not serves in the pre-composed, activate the add mode, but only in the main composition. To have this disposition, has been applied a trimmer from the frame 924 onwards. Follow on video, all parameters effects. This is the result of the particles. As in the original video, I added the transition layer fire video, in add mode, to give a cool touch on the logo fire with lava Conan material. You can use other types of fire video explosions, you can find on sale in many websites specialized. To complete the entire sequence, I added 2 lens flare layers, on the C letter and N2. For this, I used the optical flares. The 2 sequences start from frame 95 to frame 104 with a maximum value of the brightness to 65 and scale to 80. with a slight movements, that follows the outer parts of the letters. Finally, during the arrival of the sword, I created an effect of camera shake. This fast sequence is obtained with small X and Y shifts, with the accompanying of the box blur effect, with a maximum radius value, 0.3. After the arrival of the sword, in the frame 95. In the 96 frame, the entire scene had moved with 2 pixels to the right and down. In frame 97, only at the top. In frame 98, only at the bottom. And finally, in the frame 99, back with all the initial parameters, with box blur to 0. The result is guaranteed. Before concluding, it is important to note, if you want a result like the original, you must enter an interpolation of opacity on the layers, particles and background. In the frame 20, to 0, to be 100% in frame 23. Complete with the audio file, and proceed with the final rendering. This is the result of the project. Very, very cool. I recommend you apply this animation style only with big logos, to appreciate all the details of materials and lights. Okay, I remind you the next appointment for the tutorial on the movie title Fright Night. Another fabulous animation. I hope this tutorial has been to your liking. By Antonio Seri from CRRNTN.com. Cheers.